So there was news now. Hunter Biden's ex-wife Kathleen Buhle releasing her memoir today and granting her first interview since their divorce about 5 years ago from Hunter.
Did he deliberately curry favor or seek profit based on who his father was? That's the question people ask. In your experience as his wife, did you see that?
I saw someone who loved his father, respected his parents, and was proud to be their son.
Mollie Hemingway, editor-in-chief for The Federalist, with us now, also a Fox News contributor. And Mollie, good morning to you. You watched it. What did you learn from this today?
Well, it was a lot of what you just saw. Kathleen Buhle tells a story that's very favorable to the Biden family, while also sharing details about what it was like to be married to an addict. Hunter Biden is a well-known addict. She says that she ceded all financial control to Hunter. She said she loves nice things, and she didn't want to know the cost at which they came. But contrary to that clip you just showed, of course, that's the entire issue in play. We all know it's not actually in dispute that Hunter Biden's business, along with his uncle James Biden's business, is to get money from powerful oligarchs, corporations, foreign companies, in exchange for their proximity to Joe Biden, the current president, former vice president, former senator. That's the Biden family business. And that is under investigation. Kathleen Buhle says she doesn't have anything to tell the Delaware U.S. attorney who's investigating just a portion of that, but he is, in fact, looking into that. Although I will say also, I have talked with recent and current Department of Justice officials. David Weiss, the U.S. attorney who's looking into some of the tax problems associated with that family business. They say he's a good U.S. attorney, but that he's got way too small a staff to deal with the levels of corruption that should be investigated. And I think that's very interesting going forward.
That's an interesting acknowledgement. Here's the part where she talks about on Good Morning America, call for #1, about ceding financial control.
You say you weren't really involved in the finances at all.
It's embarrassing to say that I ceded all financial control to my husband.
Do you know why you did that?
I liked the nice things, and I didn't want to think about the cost at which they were coming.
Mollie, I'm just curious, who is the audience for this book intended to be?
Well, I think everyone knows that the Biden family is a complete mess. And so people are curious about what was going on. It is, she tells the story in here about finding out that Hunter Biden was having an affair with both of their sister-in-law, Beau Biden's widow, Hallie, and how she found that out through her daughter, how she had suspicions about it. I mean, this is gossip that is so salacious that if it happened in the previous administration, it would have been a nonstop news cycle. So I think there is curiosity about the family, even as they understand that addiction does lead to all sorts of drama like this.
We got about a minute left here. Here's a quote from the book. Hunter had instant entry into the world of power because he had something better than money. An actual U.S. senator as a father, he had grown up in a world of affluence beyond my understanding. He'd talk of those with new money with disdain. I felt a strong sense of not belonging. Listen, everything was new money in this family, wasn't it? They were out doing business deals. According to Joe Biden, it's all new money, and that he claims he grew up poor. And so all of the Biden family business is brand new money based on his 50-plus years in power. And that's why Americans are interested, not because they need to know the details of an addict's life, but because this money is given to these family members in exchange for changes in U.S. policy that affects every taxpayer. That's why it's a vitally important story.
Well, thanks for covering it for us. We appreciate it, and good to see you as that book is today. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.